Whoa, we're back for some Bleach Soul Resonance. We're going to be taking a look at the official developer Q&A. We're going to be reading through all of this, going in game, taking a look at some things. I skimmed the first-ish question, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty good, so let's just get right into it. Thank you to Comprehensive Toe, of course. Dear Substitute Soul Reapers, the Mayuri Kodotsuchi version is officially live. We received a lot of feedback recently and wanted to take this opportunity to respond to your questions. Moving forward, we will continue to address your concerns and optimize the game's features and mechanics. Are there many rewards in this version? So, yes, you can earn a significant amount of rewards throughout Mayuri's version. Players can obtain over 8,000 Spiritual Jade, along with 5 limited tickets, 5 limited stamp gacha tickets, 10 gacha tickets, 7 stamp gacha tickets, and various growth materials. I want to go back in-game. I want to go in-game and out-of-game, you know, back and forth between this thread, just to sort of confirm some things. So, as far as the reward track, again, we have the 10 tickets here. This should be the 2 tickets here and the 3 here, or I guess I should say this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tickets for the limited pull, and then 2, 5 tickets for the actual weapons pulls. We've got a bunch of rewards coming here. This content is usually pretty easy to just dig into. No one should have any problems scoring on this. This is a daily, and then this here, which is just going to release, you know, several days, you know, from here on, is pretty chill to get through. We've got an efficiency test, which is going to give us a ton of corridor keys, but most importantly is going to give us access to the Kisuke, Urahara, Mayuri, etc., bond, which is going to be extremely powerful for Kisuke and Mayuri specifically. This is essentially going to be a buff for Kisuke, right? So that's pretty huge, as well as a bunch of tickets and the like, Jade here, and so on. About 400 there, as it said before, and some nourishers, so another 400 there. We've got 20 here. We've got a bunch of things to make resources easier to farm here. We've still got this going, which I will count because obviously this is coming out during the event. And we have this new event here, which I don't know if it says it anywhere. There's about like 2,100 or some ludicrous amount of jades just packed into this content. I actually, after recording my gear, farm, my gear craft rather, I actually went back in here and was able to clear the last star. I was missing the 300-second clear. I put the Mayuri with my Kenpachi, and I put the Kisuke with the much easier wave-based fight of the first stage, and it actually cleaned this one up pretty simply. So maybe that's a little bit of a tip for anyone trying to push. Literally, I did this with Mayuri on this team and Kisuke down here, and I did not finish the fight. I tried several times. Only change I made is gearing my Mayuri and putting him down there, and I was able to clear it in 300 seconds. So I don't know, but yeah, tons of rewards so far, just like in the immediate. I mean, I didn't expect for them to drop literally like over 2,000 jades just day one. That's pretty crazy. Addressing power creep and underpower older characters. The perceived power gap is mainly because the Thrust team is our first complete team, composed of 3 limited SSRs. Its mechanics and synergies are much more refined. I'm going to highlight this, much more refined, setting a new benchmark for a complete team. Over the next 6 months, we will round out the rosters for every type to ensure each type has its own perfect team and unique playstyle. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really even think this needs delineating, but the reason Thrust feels so good is because Nell is the best character in the game. Mayuri is insane, and Gin has been one of the strongest DPSs in the game the entire time. He's super powerful, very obviously more powerful than someone like Toshido at B0. So I'm talking for free-to-play players now. So B0, B1, B2. I think that the first 2 boundaries for Toshido probably make him a more complete character, but the fact that Gin got a staggering amount of help from Rangiku, then got Nellel, who works perfectly with him, and now has Mayuri, I mean, it just feels obvious, right? It's not that any of these teams in singularity are bad, but when you actually think about it, Kenpachi Zaraki with Kisuke Urahara as his support, we don't even need to release a new slash support. Think about that. We don't need a new slash support. If they release a limited SSR slash tactics character, Kenpachi might be the best DPS in the game for B0s and B1, B2. Because I actually think if you're B1, B2 on this character, it's not that much more. It's pretty good. It's really good. But if you're B1, B2 on this character, you know, free-to-play range, and you have a new, shiny slash tactics character and you don't have to worry about using Byakuya, who is fine, you go to the moon. Same with Strike. I expect Strike to be the best team in the game after Soifon releases, probably after Grimjaw releases, so on and so forth. And then Spirit, in my opinion, Spirit has the most possible chance to be the weakest team because they are getting a support and they are saying they want to focus on type supports and type characters in general. But the combination of Aizen, his Boundary 1 is really good. His Boundary 2 is pretty good, especially if we are running him on the Spirit team. But his Boundary 4 is when he starts to carry. And I just think that most players who are B0, B1, B2 on Toshido don't really have that investment. So I do think that we could see Spirit end up being the weakest team by the time the half Annie concludes, which is going to be really odd because I think that we've all gotten so used to Strike being the best, or being the worst rather. Addressing Powercreep. We're also developing content that highlights these elemental differences. Furthermore, while it may feel character stats are increasing, we will ensure that boss stats and daily content do not follow suit, so active players can still claim all rewards. This has been something that they've been extremely good at. Also, they have been very active on making sure we get limited characters to help us clear content. Right? We have gotten many limited characters every single patch to help free-to-plays and low-spending players clear content, which is super pivotal. So if you're a free-to-play player and you're just trying to stack up, I mean, like I said, there's someone on Twitter who their whole thing is they just want B4, B6 Soifon, and guess what? They haven't really spent a bunch of those savings, and they were able to pick up some characters, and they still are on track to easily be able to pull a B4 Soifon, weapon dupes, etc., right? So don't let, like, oh, you know, they're releasing characters, they're going to power scale creep me out. No, because we are still getting such easy opportunities to get every single reward. They are very generous with this. Future character roadmap. Here's a sneak peek at who is coming after Mayuri. Soifon, Strike, and Grimjaw, Strike are on their way, with Spirit-type characters to follow. This is what I said. Soifon, Strike, Grimjaw, Strike will be probably the second or third strongest team in the game the moment they come out. Mostly because I think Grimjaw is going to be truly exceptional. I think Grimjaw is going to be truly exceptional, if I'm honest, because he is a half Annie character. And while Chinese New Year is a big event, I think half Annie and then actual anniversary are going to be the biggest draws for any sort of game in gacha typically, you know? So I think that Grimjaw is on pace to be the character you really don't want to miss. I would say, and now that we have Mayuri, we sort of have a benchmark for supports, and we see that he's very good. I would be very cautious around the support that's coming out, or even maybe Soifon if that's where you're leaning, because I think Grimjaw should be our first truly exceptional character. Maybe not like, oh, the game is now like null and void unless you have Grimjaw, but I do think he should be extremely good. Staying true to the original lore, Soifon and Yoruichi share a deep connection, so we've designed skills like combos and friendship defense for them. Stay tuned, that's really cool. I think that's awesome. I hope that Soifon makes Yoruichi a very relevant character, because I continue to just pull dupes of her whenever I pull on the standard banner. I continue to just pull dupes of her weapon whenever I pull on the weapons banner, so on and so forth. So as for Grimjaw, he is a Strike DPS and will debut during our half anniversary in May, accompanied by new content. That's very exciting. I expect whatever this new content to be the first like real like whoa drop, by the way. Who is stronger, Kisuke Urahara or Mayuri Kurotsuchi? While they share some overlapping capabilities, they are designed for different team archetypes. Mayuri Kurotsuchi performs significantly better in ailment-focused teams, whereas Urahara remains the superior fit for direct damage teams, of course. I mean, we don't need to go in a game for that, right? Server population imbalance and leaderboard competitions. We're considering server merges in the future. Additionally, we will gradually roll out server and cross-server rankings to allow for more interaction competitions across the entire player base. We also implemented the following optimizations based on player suggestions. Before we get into this is something I've talked about where people are like, oh, you know, you need to go on Dokkan, they need to add PvP. You need to go on this PvE game, you need to add PvP. You need to go Honkai, blah, 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 CZN, blah, blah, blah. You don't really need to add PvP to PvE-focused games. So long as you have like leaderboards. People like leaderboards. People like seeing how their teams are doing. I like posting like, hey, you know, we're free to play over here, and look, we're still, you know, able to place pretty respectably, right? Even if it's in like the top 5%, top 7%, etc. Those are pretty nice numbers. I mean, even if we go in game here, where am I at in Frenzy Feast? I'm in top 6.4%, which is just outside the actual like top 100, right? And we're only 2 days away from it resetting. So not bad, right? For a free-to-play account, that's fun to see. Things like that are fun to see, right? I think people like stuff like that. Trial tower optimization, limited time trials updated, limited time con and shop updates, completely staged to earn material awards, free practice optimization, the training dummy, enable the auto battle feature in free practice, stamp optimization. Yeah, the conversion is really strong. Any 3 5-star stamps with no star upgrade can now be converted into one specific stamp. This is great. We use that already. Backpack optimization, stamp backpack capacity has been raised. Add a filter function for stamps when dismantling. We also have an auto, yeah, here it is, the auto dismantle thing. This is so good, man, because we don't want those 4 stars after we get to a certain point. Added new sand treasures, we picked those up already, got 360 I think from that. A little something extra, will be gifting everyone a Nell 2 in future update. That is, I assume that just means the itty bitty version of her, so you can walk around. The production of Nell 2 is complete and she will be given to everyone for free for the future. With this, all 3 forms of Nell are finally reunited in game. We hope you love her. That's cool. But yeah, that is our rundown. I think the most interesting things here are obviously just getting confirmation of the character roadmap. Now, anyone out there sort of like, oh my god, what's coming next? You know, oh, they're just going to leave Strike all alone on an island. No, there it is. Soy Phone coming, Grimjaw coming for half anniversary, Spirit type coming between there. If you want to save, you can now save freely. There's no... the only thing that could stop this is Shueisha. Please remember that they are trying their best, but if Shueisha says, then we're going to have problems, right? But I think that's it for now. Make sure, by the way, if you don't remember, they mentioned it, but go ahead and grab your 320 sand treasures. They are on the map, so they're easy to find. And just make sure you're clearing out these extra jade. I am now at 1451, which is pretty nice. We're about to hit reset in a few, not a few minutes, but actually 1 hour from now for me. So I'll be getting on that. And yeah, most of what I'm doing right now is just waiting on Stamp Corridors to hopefully pick up his core stamp. And otherwise, we're sort of done gearing this guy. Like I'm pretty content with what my Mayuri looks like. So we'll probably be moving on. Now that we know we have a roadmap, the roadmap says that we will be getting a strike character, a spirit character, and a strike character. What does that mean? It means that the Slash team is pretty far out from getting a tactics character. So yeah, I'm probably going to start building my Byakuya up because I keep pulling dupes of him when I pull on the standard banner. So I guess that's my next project because Mayuri just does not require super min-max gear. Like I have no plans of min-maxing his gear any further. I just plan on getting his core stamp and running him like that. So yeah, with all that being said, I've been Lone. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to join the club. We all go make it, and peace.